tennis preacher, the prophet, the psychic, and the pastor. And this is the magic man, the tennis preacher, the prophet, and the psychic, coming back at you again with another video. Okay, people, let's get it going. The match, the Djokovic versus Nadal, considered to be, if not number one, I think it's number two. The number two on the list of the best rivalries. Probably the only reason why it's not number one. I think Beyond Boer versus John McEnroe is considered to be number one, but I think it's for a substance though. I think Nadal versus Djokovic is just as good as Beyond Borg versus McEnroe, but I think that there was a mystique around the Borg McEnroe rivalry that probably is not around the Djokovic-Nadal rivalry, and plus tennis was more popular back then, but that's probably why everybody keep McEnroe versus Bjorn Borg rivalry number one. But the Djokovic versus Nadal rivalry, from a substance standpoint and a statistical standpoint, that rivalry got things about it that even other rivalries doesn't have. And you all can go to Wikipedia. I don't want to spend the video doing that. I've done that in other videos. Y'all can just type in tennis prophet, the Djokovic-Nadal rivalry, and then y'all can learn all about the rivalry, those of you that don't know about it. But it's definitely one of the best rivalries. It's amazing that these younger guys, these old gangsters, like I was telling Nadal, the OGs are still ruling. It's still Nadal versus Djokovic. People, just think of this here, and I'm going to get to the preview of this match here in a second. People, just think of this. These young generation of guys, and whoever's not named Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, we know Wawrinka and Murray did some stuff, but I'm saying, people, think of it. Who won the Australian Open last year? Federer. Who won the French Open? Nadal. Who won the Wimbledon? Djokovic. Who won the US Open? Djokovic. That's it, man. It's the same old story. It's the same old news, man. So here we go. Djokovic versus Nadal. Okay, who do I got? People, I can say this is complicated, but it's sort of complicated, but it's not complicated. Okay, the reason why it's not complicated, because everybody know Djokovic, when he's in the God mode, he's unbeatable. When he's in the God mode, okay? And we know even though Nadal made the rivalry great, and Wikipedia brings that point up, that even though Djokovic dominated Nadal during the Djokovic peak, Nadal still made it top rivalry, okay? All right, and Nadal did beat the Djokovic a few majors during Djokovic's rivalry, okay? Got a US Open and a French Open, but overall, I think the record was like during that time, like 19-8 in Djokovic's favor. So Djokovic, as far as the numbers, and not just the numbers, the reality, he did dominate Nadal. Okay, all right. But Nadal was still right there, though. All right, so, man, who do I got here, man? Listen, I'm going to make this simple, though. I'm going to go with Djokovic to win this, okay? I'm going to go with Djokovic to win this. I hope this ain't another... People, I got to go to the Australian Open little party get-together. See, because on the West Coast here in California, it comes on at 12:30 a.m. So, people, I went to an Australian Open. One of my boys had an Australian Open party back when Nadal in 2012, when they had that 6-hour match. So that was hilarious, because the match starts at 12:30 a.m. and I noticed, like, by the time the end of the match, I didn't realize that, man, it was daylight on the outside side. It was like 6:30 in the morning, man. So I hope this ain't no 6-hour marathon again. All right, so let's get to this previewing here. Yeah, people, I'm going to take Djokovic to win this. But, man, let me just say something now. Nadal can beat him. Nadal is playing at a high enough level to beat Djokovic. And, people, now, let me just say this here. Before, let me deal with the Djokovic side. Djokovic is beatable. Now, I'm not just saying this because Djokovic got beat by Kachanov in the Paris Masters final, and then he got beat again the next in a couple weeks in the final of the ATP finale by Zverev. So Djokovic can be beat, but people, when Djokovic played Del Potro in the final of the U.S. Open, when I previewed that, I did mention that Del Potro had a chance, that he had a chance because Djokovic, even in his peak between 2011 and 2016, people, the Djokovic could lose that one match. Maybe he won so much, and then maybe he's burned out unconsciously. Maybe he's tired of winning or whatever. His level decides to the rest. His high level, the God mode, decides to come back down to earth. So Djokovic can lose that one match, okay? And this could be one of those matches, okay? Now, here's the bad news, though, for Nadal and for Nadal fans, and Federer fans know this. When Djokovic plays Nadal and Federer, he steps up. Even if he was not in the God mode the match before, when he get against Federer and Nadal, he locks in and steps up and locks in, okay? So that's the bad news for Nadal and Nadal fans. Now, the good news now, so let me go to the Nadal side now. Well, this is Nadal and Djokovic side, whatever side you wanted to follow. The good news for Nadal fans is that the Djokovic is not always in the God mode, okay? All right, he was in the God mode against Puil just a couple days ago, but who's to say he's gonna be in that God mode in a couple of hours? Okay, now if the Djokovic is in the God mode, he's gonna beat Nadal. Point blank. Don't get into that comment section and tell me he's not. I've seen this. I've studied this. I have watched this. I've heard this. When Djokovic is in the God mode, he can beat both Federer and Nadal with his eyes closed. I've seen this. I don't need nobody to try to tell me anything. Now, but the question is he gonna be in the God mode? Now, here's another thing. Will he? See, another thing, Nadal could beat... See, Nadal is playing at a high enough level that he could beat Djokovic if the Djokovic is in the God mode sometimes during the match. In other words, suppose Djokovic is in the God mode the first set, but he drops out of the God mode the second set. Nadal gets him the second set. So then the third set, the Djokovic is in the God mode for a couple games, and then he falls out of the God mode, and then Nadal gets him the third set or something. See, now here's the good news for Nadal and Nadal fans. If Djokovic, if he don't consistently stay in the God mode during this match, Nadal is playing at such a high level that I believe Nadal would beat him, okay? So this match, so in other words, the Djokovic, it's almost like, yeah, Nadal is under pressure. Of course, if Djokovic is in the God mode, but it's almost like Djokovic is under pressure to bring the God mode to this match. Because if Djokovic doesn't bring the God mode to this match, I believe Nadal would beat him, okay? So now somebody will say, well, Magic Man, if you feel that Djokovic beating Nadal in this Australian Open is based on him being in the God mode, well, then you must feel, Magic Man, that Djokovic is going to bring the God mode, okay? And then what is the chance of him not bringing the God mode? Okay, that's a good question. Okay, people. People, you know, unless a player probably has a better chance of beating Djokovic than Nadal and Federer, because Djokovic, I'm telling y'all, when he plays Nadal and Federer, he locks in. Nadal fans know what I'm talking about. Everybody know this. Federer fans know this. Listen, Kachanov caught the Djokovic off guard. Zverev caught the Djokovic off guard. But obviously, Zverev was not in some. He was not able to keep the level. So obviously, Djokovic must have fell off because Zverev, obviously, if you look at him now, he was not on some other level. Okay, and so a lesser player has a better chance of beating Djokovic because when Djokovic plays Nadal and Federer, he steps up, way up, okay, and locks in, and really locks in, okay. So that's why I'm taking Djokovic. I think Djokovic is gonna. I think because he's playing Nadal, he has no choice but to bring the God mode, okay? Or something around there. All right, now let me go to the Nadal side. I'm going to tell you what Nadal needs to do to beat Djokovic, okay? Like I said, the first thing he needs to pray that Djokovic don't bring that God mode consistently for all 5 sets or 3 sets or however many it's going to be. Okay, but what Nadal needs to do, first of all, Nadal needs to win the first set. He doesn't need Djokovic to win that first set, be in the God mode, and then the next set is 2-2, 3-3. Nadal serving. Nadal fans know this feeling. This is when Nadal fans get nervous. Nadal serving at 3-3. The Djokovic eyes is this big. He's hitting winners on Nadal. He's got a blindfold when Nadal serves. He's able to hit the ball with a blindfold on. And then Nadal goes down love 30 on his serve. And you know if the Djokovic making 4-3 and the Djokovic is serving, the match is over. Even Nadal's going to make it a good match, but the match will be over. So Nadal want to stay out of that. He want to get that first set. And then not only that, people, Nadal want to keep it close. Now, people, I'm going to say this here. If Nadal keeps it close, that's in Nadal's favor. Because, see, I figure if the Djokovic is in the God mode, he's going to win the first set, and then he's going to make Nadal feel sort of nervous and under pressure, and then break Nadal the second set, and then win the second set. But if Nadal keep this thing toe-to-toe, Nadal got a good chance of winning this match. Now, let me see what else Nadal needs to do, too. Like I said, he needs to win the first set. And, man, yeah, that's it. He needs to keep this thing close. If he keep it close, then he keeping Djokovic under pressure. And if he keeping it close, that probably means Djokovic is not in the God mode. Maybe he's in the very good mode. Because remember I told y'all, Djokovic got 4 modes. He got the average to Djokovic, which that beats most people. Then he got the good to Djokovic. Okay, that beat Del Potro, see there? Now he got the very good to Djokovic. It takes a high-level Federer and a high-level Nadal. They're best to beat that one. And then he got the God mode that I just talked about that nobody seems to be able to beat, okay? Now, that was a Nadal fan that said something about a year ago in the comment section. I didn't really respond to it, but it was just something interesting. They said that Nadal's God mode, and nobody don't call, they don't, see that the Djokovic fans named the Djokovic highest level the God mode. This Nadal fan said that and this is interesting now. I don't really know what to say about this, but I want to throw this out. They said that Nadal's God mode can beat Djokovic's God mode. Well, obviously now, maybe Djokovic's God mode keeps Nadal out of his God mode. But I will say this here, people. If that Nadal fan was talking about when Nadal beat Wawrinka in that 2017 French Open, and most experts said that could have been the highest level ever seen on a court. So that includes the Djokovic's highest level, okay? If Nadal can bring that out, and I know that was on clay now. We're not on clay, but say if Nadal could bring that level out against Djokovic's God mode, then maybe he could top the Djokovic's God mode. But see, that sort of don't make any sense. Well, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Because obviously, Djokovic and Nadal have played each other more times than anybody else in any other rivalry, and Nadal has never been able to top Djokovic's God mode. So obviously, Djokovic's God mode keeps Nadal from playing. And if Nadal does have a God mode, or whatever that was, in the French Open 2017, when he beat Wawrinka, and everybody's saying that could have been the highest level ever played on the surface. Obviously, Nadal is not able to play that level against Djokovic. So, but I just thought that was interesting. I mean, maybe he can do it, okay? But I just told y'all what Nadal needs to do. He needs to win that first set. Don't lose that first set and then go down like a game or so in the second set. And if he loses the second set, it's probably over. Okay? So that's what Nadal needs to do. Keep it close. And if Nadal keeps it close, he has a chance. Okay, people, but I got Djokovic winning this. I mean, like I said, Nadal can win it, but I mean, I got to go with Djokovic based on the history, based on me. Like I said, the Djokovic, he's proven he can beat Federer and Nadal when these big moments really come up. Okay, people? So I got Djokovic winning this. Okay, people, Tennis Preacher, Prophet, Psychic, signing off. Have a good one. Magic Man, Tennis Preacher, the Prophet, the Psychic, and the Pastor.